Hey, good morning. It's Christine Crutcher from Create with Christine. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I did move the time of my live earlier by a couple hours because I have a family commitment today. So thanks for being flexible if you're going to pop on here and join me. It's one of the things I love about my business is that I can work when I want to work, especially convenient in the summertime. Like last night, we were having dinner in Harvard Square in Cambridge, and I didn't know we were going to do that yesterday. So I can work in the morning and plan my day, and at 7 o'clock last night something could have posted to Facebook, but I was enjoying dinner outside on the patio on a beautiful summer night. So anyways, I just wanted to share the card we're going to make today, and I'm calling this Christmas in July. And my technique is going to be when to use a blender pen versus Stella. So I'm going to use Stella 3 times on this card, but I also want to show you how you could do it with your blender pen, coloring in once with your blender pen or 3 times with Stella. So I'm actually using the same bundle I used last week on my video. It's Tidings and Trimmings. And this is a die bundle, so here's the stamp set, and I do have the catalog somewhere in my stash. I have a lot to cover today, and I'm hoping to keep this to 30 minutes. We have to get on the road to go visit family that live an hour and a half away, so like I said, I'm going to try to keep this 30 minutes. I'm using the Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper. This is one of the 9 papers that is currently on sale for 15% off. This one is a 6x6, so if you're not familiar with this one yet, it is a 6x6. It's $11.50 full retail, and it's on sale for $9.78. So if you have the catalog in front of you, I'm on pages 88 and 89 with Tidings of Christmas. So here's the bundle. Let me just show you the dies really quick while I'm here. And the celebration catalog just fell out. So last week I was like, I want to show you guys the covers of the catalogs because I have them. But then one of the catalogs went flying and I don't remember which one it was. So let me show you the dies. Here's, and I showed this last week too, but here's the Christmas trimmings dies. So you get stars, you get like these floral, you get holly, leaves, a bow, stocking, little stars, medium stars. It's really pretty cool die bundle. There is a 15, oh my gosh, I have to put it right up to my eyeballs, 15 dies. And I'm also using tailor-made tags dies, and I think these are a sleeper in the catalog. They're a die set. You get 2 different sizes, and you get the cute little reinforcers too. So I have used these a couple of times. So again, here's the card. So we're going to use the big tag in the middle. Hey, good morning, Tammy. Hope all is well with you in Florida, and you've hopefully you're still in Florida and you've managed to survive the storm. We had it Friday for like a couple hours. It kind of blew up here and through. And it was like a monsoon on Friday afternoon for like 2 hours here. But yeah, I just stayed in. I was still working, so it was you know, come through. By Friday night, it was like we had a lull, and it was nice Friday night for a couple hours, and then we got another rainstorm. So crazy. So I did want to show, here's the cover of Celebration. It starts August 3rd, and it's going to go through September 30th, 2021. So you can see sheep. There's a bunch of designer series paper. There's an awesome Dahlia set. I'm trying to think. That one that says In Your Words, I think that one's all sentiments. So I can only show you the cover. And then while I'm here, I'll just show you the mini catalog cover too. Again, I can only show you the front cover. So this does say July to December, but just so you know, remember when that ship was stuck, I think it was the Suez Canal for like a couple weeks? That affected like 1/10 of, you know, freight for the entire world at that time. So Stampin' Up had come out and said, we're going to have to change the dates of our catalog. And the catalogs were already printed that said July to December. But just so there's no confusion, this mini catalog starts August 3rd. So the only way you've been able to order it so far, oh, and I'm so excited my box comes tomorrow, was if you did a pre-order if you are a demonstrator. And if you want to message me about joining my team, I will say I would hold off until August 3rd because there is going to be a special starting August 3rd to join my team. So shoot me an email. We can even do a Zoom or FaceTime to look at the celebration and the mini catalog together one-to-one, but I am not allowed to show you, you know, anything more than that. So I'm going to point the camera down and we'll get started. Oh, still in Florida and all is good. Awesome. So again, I'm going to point the camera down. I want to try to get through this pretty quickly, and it's not difficult, but I want to show you the two different techniques with Wink of Stella versus a blender pen. And I have a whole bunch of announcements because I've been getting a lot of questions this week about what I'm doing over the next couple weeks. So I want to share. Right over my head is my stamp camp that is open right now, Christmas in July, until this Tuesday. So I'll show that at the end. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is really early for me. So I'm usually on about 2 hours from now live. So I forgot to even show. I do have an iced chai latte with me. So I'm just gonna take a sip of that. So my inspiration for this card actually came from a color challenge. So, and the color challenge was to use, and I don't have it printed out, but I'll show you on my phone. Stampin' Up allows us to have these little color guides, color coach or color, I don't know, they call that something, and I'm drawing a blank on what it is right now. So let me see where I'm at. I think I need to go this way. And this is just an example of what it looks like. The one I'm using, I have it on my phone, so I'm just gonna put my phone here for a second. I'm using the soft succulent, and I'm using soft succulent, mint macaron, and rich razzleberry. Oh, you know what? I don't think you guys are seeing that very well, but I don't know, it's the top one, and I'm sorry, there's like a glare on my phone, so I don't think the mint is coming through great for you. So anyways, I'm just going to get that out of there because that wasn't great. So the two primary colors are soft succulent and rich razzleberry. And oh my gosh, they make an awesome combination. But I used a little bit of mint macaron, and it's like super hard to see because I painted it with Wink of Stella on the holly leaves. So I did use all three colors. And I will put a close-up picture on my blog at christinestamps.blogspot.com later so you can see it. And there's two stockings in this stamp set, so I am using the one you can color in. This one stamps like a solid image. Okay, so I have so much stuff in front of me, it's crazy. So let's just jump right in, and I'm probably gonna kind of go all over the place today. So I just have my Stampin' Pierce mat because this is a photopolymer clear stamp set. I'm gonna do the Noel first. So I just had a basic white piece of cardstock, and let's see, it was 2.5 by 4.5, and I cut out my tag with the tailor-made tags die with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And this one would fit on the mini too if you have the mini machine. So there's my Noel. And I'm gonna actually do something different with the stocking. So I'm gonna take away my Pierce mat and I'm gonna bring over my Stamparatus. And the reason I wanted to show this is because I do have my stamp camp closing Tuesday. This Tuesday the 13th is the last chance to register. So I'm going to bring over my Stamparatus, and actually, you know what, I'm going to do it this way, so hopefully you'll get it. And what I want to show you is how you can make a template. So what I did was, and I'm not going to move this because I have it on here, and I could move it, but I cut a piece of white cardstock 3 by 4, and I ran it through and cut out one of my stockings. Okay, and then I have 2 stockings that I cut out with white, basic white, and they are 2 by 3, and I just cut them out with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And what I want to show you is how you layer the die in this template. You can reuse this template, you know, over and over and over and over again. But when you lay this die in here, it will allow you to stamp if you don't own the dies and you take this class or stamp camp that I'm going to show you to go. So if you're local or you're long distance, and I know I have a couple long distance people who are already signed up, so thank you so much for that. And your names are going to go in my bucket for my summer promotion in a few minutes here. So I do all the die cutting for you when you sign up for one of my classes or camps to go. So let's get the stamp in here. So this is going to be a test. I'm going to lay my stocking in, make sure it's on my plate, and I'm actually going to take my template away for a minute. I'm going to ink up, and I need to put it on camera so you can see me. Okay, a disclaimer about these magnets too, if you're not familiar with the Stamparatus, these things are super, super, super strong. So there's 2 of them, and you never want them to touch. If you end up having them touch, you will never get them apart. So I try to only use one if I can help it, just so I don't have an oopsie and get them stuck. So I'm just gonna take some soft succulent, and I need to move this, I believe, so it's in the camera. Ink up my stocking, and I'm gonna do a test first. That's why I have this piece of the grid paper in here, so I'm just gonna go right onto the grid paper. Whoops. Press down pretty well. Put some muscle into it. Okay, so now I have it on my grid paper. I am gonna take my little template, line it up where it's stamped, secure with my magnet, I'm actually going to do both of them, but I'll do one at a time. My template my die cut is inside the template. I'm going to come back, re-ink with my soft succulent. I closed my ink pad because, like, force of habit. Okay, hopefully you're catching this, but put some muscle into it. Trying not to get ink everywhere. And then I'm gonna try to get this out of here. Let me get my take your pick tool without moving it. And let me switch to the poker side. By using only one magnet, I should be able to kind of sort of wiggle it out. So see how beautiful that is? And now I'm going to do another one because I want to show you Stella and I want to show you blender pen. So I'm putting this right in. I'm going to re-ink again. Put some muscle into it. The greatest thing is you can go right over the top a second time, and I'm getting this weird, the lines at the top isn't perfect, but I think it's good enough for me. Okay, so I'm just gonna get this out of here, a Stamparatus. So I just think it's awesome. You can make those templates. I'm gonna close up my ink pad. And let's come do the Stella versus the blender pen. So blender pen, Stella. So I ended up going with Stella on this card because I wanted to show it 3 times. So I'm just gonna scribble off to make sure I have no color. And I'm just gonna come and color in some of the leaves. So I did not add any ink, but because this glitter, it will move the ink if you color it right after you stamp. So you kind of get the gist. You can go over a couple times. So it's subtle, but there's a little bit of glitter and shimmer there. So let's see if I can bring it closer to the camera. It's subtle. So then let's do the blender pen and then I'll show them side by side. I just have some scrap paper, computer paper that I am scribbling off on. So you have to go quick, and with the blender pen on basic white cardstock, you don't want to go too much because then it will pill the paper. But the cool thing about the blender pen is if I wanted the color a little bit stronger, I could open up my soft succulent and kind of dip in and then color in a little bit stronger. So I just got to be careful that I don't start pilling the paper. So you can kind of see I can make it darker with the blender pen. So it's kind of a cool effect, and it's a little bit lighter than a marker. Maybe, I wonder about the light. I could do a comparison with the light Stampin' Blends because I do have the light and the dark Stampin' Blends in the soft succulent. So anyways, super easy technique, and you kind of you can do different looks. So pretty much that's what I wanted to show about coloring. But with Wink Stella, you can kind of take it up a notch. So let's actually adhere the layers so I can show you what I mean. And then I'll do all my embellishments and my announcements. So, all right, let's do these and then I'll go to the card base. So 3 3/4 by 5 soft succulent, and I emboss this with the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. So let me show you, and I'm going to show you in my stamp camp, but here's the embossing folder. What's great about this one is you can do it horizontal or vertical, and I just follow the line. So for this one, I put it in and I kind of went towards the bottom edge of the line, so I wanted kind of like the tall trees. But you could do it this way, and in one of my stamp camps, I did more white space at the top so I could stamp up here in the top where it's clear and there's no embossing. So that's another tip. I'm full of tips today, so I'm sharing all my secrets with you. So I hope you appreciate it. So my rich razzleberry is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and I'll put the measurements below so you can have them. There's a lot of measurements, and I actually changed one of my measurements from this card when I designed it I think it was based on a swap I had from somebody. And they use like totally different paper and totally different stamps. I'm sorry if I'm shaking the table. And I actually changed it after I made it. So this is the designer series paper from the Tidings of Christmas, and it is 2 3/4 by 4. So then my rich razzleberry ended up being 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. And that was the measurement I changed. And this is so pretty on this side too, isn't it? But remember, I'm going with my color combination, and my color combination was soft succulent, rich razzleberry, and mint macaron. So these colors are like evergreen and cherry, but you could totally like make this, and I'm gonna make this an evergreen card with evergreen as the primary color for my In Color Club this month. So if you're in Color Club, I ordered your products. They should be in by the end of the week, and your color is going to be evergreen this month, so we could do Christmas in July. I'm really all about the Christmas in July this month. So I wanted my layers to be 1/8 here and 1/8 here. So that's the measurement I changed from the original, and I'll show you the side by side at the end here. Okay, now I'll just go right to the card base. It's a soft succulent card base, and then we'll do the tag and all the embellishing. So super simple. I ended up having a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 card instead of 4 1/4 by 11, but you could do whatever, whether you want your card to open side to side or top to bottom. So I usually do 4 1/4 by 11 when I'm doing a card like this, but this is what it ended up with after I cut my cardstock. So anyways, this is what we got today. Okay, so let's do the tag. For white, I like to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. If you watch my videos, you will know that this is my go-to for my white and my vanilla, so you can't see the cardstock through. And you just kind of want to have a light touch and go down and then pull straight up. And the tag is a pretty tight fit, but it works. And I think I'm going to go with the one I colored. No, you know what? I'm going to go with the one I colored with Stella. So here's the thing about this. You could totally stamp this right on the tag, but I kind of like having the white border. So I like the white border around, so I just left it. And I did a bow with my little bow maker, an 8-inch bow. This is the Soft Succulent Open Weave ribbon. I'm just going to take a sip of tea. So we're going to put the bow on with a mini glue dot. And I got one of the rolls where the glue dots are on the opposite side. So let me know if you guys got one of those too. I don't think it's going to be a permanent thing. So if you did get one like that, I think they just had a batch that was, you know, printed like that, and it's been driving me nuts. So I put my bow on so I can kind of get my placement on my stocking of where I want it, and I can totally cut my tails with my paper snips. Get that out of the way. And I want to embellish this with some holly, so let me get my stocking on here. That looks about good. Oh, and I didn't put my little Stella, where did it go? Across the top a little bit, but you could totally go like up here. You could actually color this whole thing in, but I added a little bit just like where the dotted edge is. Okay, now let's do the holly. So this die is actually pretty cool because I did mint macaron. It's like a 1 by 1.5 inch piece, and it cuts out both at the same time. And then you got to figure out where you want them to go. I kind of like want them kind of like that. And then I'm going to put my berries on. My berries are the Artistry Blooms sequins. These carried over from the annual catalog, I believe, last year. And they come in like 4 really pretty colors, and they're iridescent. So I'm using the embellishment as like my berries. So let's get the holly on here with a tiny bit of liquid glue. You could use mini dimensionals, mini glue dots. I like the liquid glue because I kind of have a minute to wiggle it where I want it. This is such a pretty color combination. And you know, and it's a little bit kind of non-traditional, the purple and the green for Christmas. And you know, there's certain people that I would always, I like to send them non-traditional cards. So whether they're like kind of like pink and blue, and we can get very creative with our holiday cards, right? So and my box comes tomorrow with all my new stuff, so I'll be showing starting in September. So you can kind of figure out how you want it to go, like 1 and then 2, 3. If there's no right or wrong way to do this at this point, I'm just gonna like put them on here with a grouping of 3. So isn't that a fun little embellishment? So let me just show you, oh, well, let me show you the Stella. Holy smokes, I almost forgot about that. I put it back in my little caddy. But the one thing is if you ever pick up color, is that you want to scribble off to make sure it's running clear. But I'm just going to color the cardstock. I think I showed this last week, but I'll probably show it a bunch. You can color your cardstock with Stella. And then the other thing you can do is color the embossing folder in the background. So I didn't color it before I put it on the card because I figured I would wait because I could just do the edges here, and I'm kind of being messy, but you get the gist. I'm just kind of scribbling, so you can scribble over your embossed cardstock with your Stella to add a little bit of sparkle and shine. So I did Stella on the leaves in the stocking, Stella on the holly, and then Stella on the embossed. Okay, so 3 ways to use that. And then here's the side by side, so you can kind of see the difference of that middle panel, the rich razzleberry. I cut it down 1/8 of an inch from this card, which was my original design, because the difference in the sizing like really bothered me. So I'll have the measurements online, but I want to show you my stamp camp and give you a couple announcements before I wrap up. So I just have to grab, the cards are right over my shoulder. And of course, I just knocked a box over because that's what happens when you're live here. So here's card number 1. And thank you, Tammy. I'm glad you like the tips. Here is card number 2, card number 3. And some of these are really white, like white on white. So if that bothers you too, you can take a sponge dauber, and you could do blending brushes, and you could put some ink on some of the labels, or ink or Stella on the embossed. So, and then here's card number 4. So Stamp Camp, Christmas in July. This registration closes this Tuesday, July 13th, 2021 at noon. So I will be sending out another reminder last call email tomorrow, Monday. It is 8 cards. So there's 4 designs. You are going to get 2 of each. You are going to get a half pack of the Tidings and Trimmings I can't even think of what it's called right now, but the designer series paper, you're going to get a half pack of that. It's on sale, so I'm passing along the savings to you. You are going to get an entire roll of the succulent ribbon, and I didn't even use it here, but you could add a little bow here. I used it here across. I didn't even use it on this card either, but I did use it across here. So you'll get an entire roll of the ribbon, and then an entire pack of the holiday rhinestones, which I only use the cherry cobblers, and there's a ton of left over. So head over to my blog at christinestamps.blogspot.com, click on classes tutorials, and you can get the registration link there. It is $30 class in person, or if you live long distance, it's $38. Okay, so I talked about the designer series paper. That sale for designer series paper goes through August 2nd, and there's 9 papers, 15% off. We talked about the dies, we talked about Stamparatus, I showed you how to line up the embossing folder. Summer promotion. Okay, let me get my bucket and my pail and my shovel over here. So it's going to be a good beach day, I think, today. And I'm going to Cape Cod, but I'm not going to the beach, I don't think. So I have 4 names to go in my bucket. Elaine M, Deb C, Mimi C, and Leslie T. Your names are in the bucket. And names will go into the bucket until the end of August. So how do you get your name in the bucket? There are actually 3 ways. You sign up for one of my classes or camps, you attend one of my events, or you place an order over $30 in my online store. And why do you want your name in the bucket? Because Labor Day weekend, I am going to raffle off $150 in prizes. So they will be gift certificates. You'll be able to use them in the holiday catalog. So to thank you for your loyalty to me, I am running this fun promotion for a couple months, just June, July, August. So that brings us actually, I should also mention my July host code. I will put the link below, but it's RJNWHV6Z. And I'm doing Christmas in July make and takes this month. If you place an order over $30 on that host code in July, you're going to get 4 make and take projects from me with the Christmas in July theme. So that brings us to August. So I'll bring the camera up for this because this should be like the last announcement before I wrap up. So thanks again so much for tuning in. I'm sorry I had to move the time. So normally I am live at 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings. But when I have a family commitment like today, I'll have to move it earlier. Or I thought about pre-recording. It's a lot to pre-record. So I just think we'll probably try to do this and do it earlier or later, I suppose, if that was the case too. If I have a commitment that ends up on a Sunday. So August, a lot of people are like, what are you doing for August? And I'm like, oh my God, it's the first week of July, people. So anyways, I love you guys that are asking me what's coming down the road so you can kind of plan your schedules. So I am planning to do a designer series paper share like I did for the annual catalog. My box comes tomorrow, and there was, I believe, one paper we could not pre-order, so I'm holding off on the details for that until I find out if that paper is going to be available for us to pre-order on the 3rd of August or not. So I will try to get those details ironed out this week, but I think there's like 8 or 9 papers, just the designer paper in the mini catalog for Halloween, fall, and Christmas. Then there's like a bunch of papers in celebration, so I need to kind of still figure out what I'm doing, but I am planning on doing that in August. I am doing an online Bogo sale. I have been getting questions about that too. The dates are going to be August 12th to August 15th. August 14th and August 15th, there is a tax-free weekend in Massachusetts. So if you do live local to me in Massachusetts, I will be keying in local Massachusetts orders on Saturday and Sunday. So details will post soon about that. I am getting my stuff together, and I'm probably going to have like 8 boxes of stuff. So it'll be all online on Facebook. So if you're not on Facebook, you're going to have to talk to a friend who's on Facebook so you can kind of get the scoop of what's on sale. And I think most people, if you're not on, you have a close friend who is on that can I'll send you the link. There's going to be a private group, and the private group is not going to open until August 12th. Probably at like 12:30 p.m. is my plan right now. So you guys are getting the scoop right here early. And then I'm going to do a stamp camp in August 19th. Same thing of what I've been doing in person or to go. I've been doing in person with 2 sessions, so we can still kind of like space out a little bit, make sure everybody's still comfortable. I've been getting lots of messages, like people like, it's so great to see in-person classes again, so, and camps and events. So yes, it is wonderful to gather again safely. And then we have a team meeting at the end of August. We also have a team meeting at the end of July. So if you are making that wish list and wanting a discount and wanting to take advantage of joining my team during celebration in August when there's the special, it's going to be a free bundle special. There's going to be select bundles that you can get for free with your starter kit or order of spending $99 to get $125 of merchandise, and then you'll be able to get a free additional bundle. I will have the details out on that on August 3rd. So, but again, if you want to see what's coming, make a one-to-one appointment with me on FaceTime or Zoom. We can look at the catalogs together one-to-one. Okay, wow, that was a lot to cover today. So thanks so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful week. I am going to be in New York for a couple days, Wednesday and Thursday. So don't worry, Thursday girls that are coming in person, I will be back early in the afternoon. If I run late, I will definitely text you if I'm running late from driving back. So have a great week, everybody, and I will see you next week for another project.